Actually, as most American Democrats nowadays pay attention at growing unemployment. In some states, unemployment rate exceeded 12%. I need to pay attention to the fact that, unfortunately, Democratic President Obama doesn't do enough in order to help working class America and American businesses to recover from horrible recession was being caused by neofascist Republican President George Bush's tax cuts. Was reckless tax cuts for wealthy, that benefited wealthy individuals and rich corporations, unfairly and unjustly. Was extreme tax cuts to wealthy. They damaged American economy. They tripled budget deficit, and they actually caused massive layoffs. And because those tax cuts they didn't fuel economic growth. Instead, it fueled illegal earnings of fat cats and those wealthy corporate leaders who actually pocketed those tax cuts that had been set by corrupt Republican Bush administration. As you know, Republican Vice President Dick Cheney, the madman who shot Texan lawyer while being drunk at Arlington Farms field in Texas. He actually was formerly a 5-year corporate official, corporate president or something of Kellogg Brown and Root Company, which is a subsidiary of Halliburton Oil Company. Halliburton Oil Company received illegal no bid contract for serving U.S. troops in Iraq, and actually that was outrageous because we actually practically bribed Vice President Dick Cheney by paying him $1 million in so-called wages, but it actually evidently was a bribe. And I believe that should be indicted too on corruption, on charges of corruption, peddling illegal influence. He peddled his corrupt influence in order to provide no bidding contracts to Halliburton Oil Company to serve U.S. military in Iraq. And I believe that actually Democratic President Barack Obama too contributed to growing unemployment, as he refused to raise minimum wage to $10 an hour, establish living minimum wages, and he also refused to to raise taxes against the wealthy, as he cut in taxes only with people who make more than $250,000 a year. But people who make more, instead he should raise taxes on people who make more than $100,000 a year, which is likely to be really wealthy, of course. And I believe this is a loophole for wealthy that's been left by President Obama in his desire only to communicate only with wealthy people, corporate leaders, makes him quite an imperialist. It doesn't make him a Democrat, it makes him a right-wing wing. And I believe that that's a part of a growing problem, because social injustice. If Democratic President Barack Obama wants to definitely make history and wants to change, like he promised, he wants a liberal change, he needs to raise taxes against the wealthy and make more than $100,000 per annual basis. He should establish living minimum wage of $10 an hour. Otherwise, his presidency will be a failure. And continually stressing the theme of failing intelligence and fail of U.S. officials, to screen out Nigerian terrorists and our terrorists as well from getting tourist visas. I believe it's a failure of leadership, failure of President Obama in order to conduct progressive politics, political stopping war in Afghanistan, for instance, and stopping the surge in Afghanistan. Though his statement of his Secretary Hillary Clinton about reducing of U.S. combat role in Afghanistan might help decrease suicidal terrorism in Afghanistan and Pakistan, which was a result of American military presence in Afghanistan. I also believe that actually want to tell about plight of people who are on unemployment roll. Me myself, I'm really unemployed, and I was looking for jobs constantly. A security guard was looking for security guard was looking for a job in order to to pay my expenses, make a living. And actually, my employment benefits were cut. Whole injustice of the thing with California EDD cut my employment benefits two times from $232 to $77 a week, so I'm unable to even pay rent. And we actually, EDT, Californian Employment Development Department, doesn't have any operators they don't pick up receivers. Whenever you call them, they won't pick up a receiver. There's nowhere to complain about it. So this is outrageous. And as a progressive journalist, I've been actually a couple of threatened some views even called threatened to cut my throat, and even with Republican Governor Schwartzenegger, whom I blamed in overthrowing democracy and illegally coming power during October 2003 recall, where he lost that recall to Democratic Governor Gray Davis, who had 500,000 ballots more during October 2003 recall, according to California Electoral Commission website report for 2003. When I looked up at the report in November 2003, and I believe that that probably with Governor Schwarzenegger, he's one who is responsible for cutting Californian pensioners' size of a pension by $59 actually. Was cost of living adjustment will cut down by the junky Republican Governor Schwarzenegger, which are nothing but neo-fascist, and those opposes healthcare reform as well. I mean, Republican cruel neo-fascists, and I call for voters to vote for American patriots to vote for Democrats, because Democrats are the only stalwarts working class people, and more or less they helped stabilize the economy. They might raise taxes against the wealthy and establish government option healthcare legislation. So I believe that healthcare has been approved by both chambers of U.S. Congress. The president will sign it soon. And if CNN, neo-fascists on CNN, was Republican right-wing workers, will try to oppose it, they would never be able to deal with healthcare reform, because healthcare reform will win. And maybe CNN neo-Nazis, we don't want to recognize it, but nevertheless, the president will sign healthcare legislation as soon as possible.